You can tell I'm not a beer drinker because I don't know how to hook it onto the counter. Carolyn, are you a beer drinker? Do you know how to do this? I'm gonna wait. And then eventually, we'll get a can opener out of the kitchen. Maybe Carolyn can find us that on top of everything else that she's doing. And then we'll have some sparkling. Oh my gosh. Well, that didn't go so well, did it? How's your day going? Mine was going pretty well until I couldn't figure out how to open a bottle. How funny is that? I should keep a corkscrew up here with an opener and all those things, but I don't. Magic! Okay. And David is sitting out there going crazy because he's like, what are you doing? The right tool for the right job. Yeah. Think from point A to B, not just A to Z. Yeah, well, whatever. So, we're going to have a festive day in the studio today. So that will be fun. And it's also a different kind of day for a live stream because it's just Carolyn and I here today. Just the two of us. Yeah, can you believe it? Just the two of us. Put that back here. Carolyn, I'll put your glass over here so you can grab it. There we go.
Okay.
Then everybody else is joining us from afar, just like you are. So it's going to be a very small, intimate, fun time. I've got my computer up here with me so that I can look at things. I'm actually going to sit down on the job. A toast to you. Happy holidays. And I've got to bring my computer up, get it all going so we can get started. Everybody else is watching remotely. We have Susie. She's joining us from California. So if you're over on YouTube, Susie's with you and having a ton of fun getting to chat with you. And I'm pulling up comments here so I'll be able to see it. Then Caledonia is on Facebook. And she is watching with you from Washington. And Ricky is on here with us. And she's watching you from Utah. And I don't know if teacher Michelle is on yet or not. She may still be in the air. She will be watching us on replay possibly from Texas. So we're kind of spread out. David's watching from Oregon. So we've got Oregon, Washington, Texas, Utah, and California, plus you. So let me know, where are you watching from? Go ahead and type it in. I'm keeping my glasses on so that I can say hello and read what you're doing. Hi, Tara from Olympia. I just looked over and saw you here. Hi, Julia. And oh boy, look at this already, all you people. Hi, Lori, yay, Tamara, Drake from Salt Lake, Robin. And you know what, Robin? I think your Super Tulip card just came back in the mail. I think it's sitting on my desk. So if you did not get one, that is why. So I will be reaching out to you to get a correct address, and we'll get that back out to you. Hi, Carl from Louisiana and Lisa from the Woodlands. Kudos to you, Lisa, for preparing all that food. That was such a wonderful thing to do for the first responders and such. I thought, warmed my heart. So hey, glad you're with us. So it looks like we've got quite a few people popping in. Hi, Margaret and Rosemary. Lori's there, Tammy, Margaret there. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. And I haven't even gone on over here to YouTube yet. Let me flip that up and see what's going on. While I am grabbing you onto live, there we go. And then I want to pop the chat out so that I can see it. And there we are. Okay, we got the chat out. Ooh, hi, Kirsty. Hey, Roxy. Nicole, and Anne is here, and Colleen. Oh my gosh. Colleen, I've been watching your sunshine down there, and it looks pretty lovely. I'm like, kind of jealous about that, but that's the way it's supposed to be. So, I'm going to quit looking here for a minute. Carolyn's going to be looking closely so she can verbalize if I miss it. We are talking all things FDI, flower school, me, anything that you want to know, anything you want to hear about, anything you want to wonder, ask, think about in the flower world, in the school world, in my world, in the tulip world. This is your chance. We're kind of doing a throwback. I doubt if you were with me, but we started doing lives in 2016. So yeah, 2016. So 7 years ago. So we've done close to 350 live episodes. Kind of freaked me out when I was thinking about that. It's like, oh my gosh. We started doing live with just David and I. We filmed it upstairs in the library here at the Creative Center using just a single iPhone and me talking to the iPhone. It was just kind of interesting. And then it evolved to where now we're in the studio. We've got the full camera set up. We're doing dual stream in Facebook and YouTube. It now takes quite a bit of time. We calculated it out at one point, and we figure it takes about 12 man-hours to do a live stream with you all. So it's an investment of time and effort, but definitely worth it. And so much different than when we started 2016. Here it is, 2023, moving to 24 next week, which is just, oh, I can't believe how fast this year went. It's just been amazing, absolutely amazing. And now we're streaming live with all the tech and with everybody across the United States pitching in and helping, and then you all around the world participating. Thank you. I feel so privileged. It's an honor to have you with us, and quite an honor to be doing live this long, this many times. And I've still got things to say. That's what's kind of scary. When does she run out of words? I don't know. So, hi Nicole, hi Jill, hi Tess. Tess, you've been sending us so many wonderful messages. I love hearing you sing. It's been so grand. Hi Jan, Dennis, yay, glad you're here. Darnell, Raindrops and Roses. Hi Grace. And Najwa, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if I'm not. I don't really want to screw up your names, but there are so many of you. And it's so wonderful to see you all. So thank you for joining me. And we've got a question here, behind the scenes. We were just talking about that we should do behind the scenes. Okay, so Robin, you received yours, so it's somebody else's that I've got sitting on my desk, another Robin, so okay. Then, oops, hi Rosemary from Ireland. So we've got a request for behind the scenes. We will get that. And, oh, Lisa, that's so funny. That's a fun story. Okay, so let me make a note here to do that. Flower shop ×2, that's too funny. That's a fun story. I will share that. And, let's see. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Scott. Hi, Renee. Somebody said they wanted quick marketing ideas for Valentine's. Let's put that in there, Valentine's, because I do have a note here to do some talk about promotions, so we'll get that. And, okay, so, let's see, where do I start? I don't even know where to begin. How about a question for you? Who knows what was my first step, for me personally, to where I knew I was going to become a florist? What point in my life, what event, what thing happened in my life that changed my entire career trajectory to where I decided I was going to be a florist. Let's see if anybody knows that, because I've shared that story before, and I would love to hear what you think, if who was around when I told it someday. And I don't see any more questions yet, so that's good. More about Valentine's. So anybody have an idea about how I started being a florist? Hello from Indiana, yay. I love it, Lisa, you know me well. Finances and orange carpet. Nope, that wasn't it. But yes, I did have orange shag carpet, and finances were very tight. But that wasn't it. I started the floral world in high school. So I was 16 years old, and I did not want to take biology. That's why I became a florist. I did not want to take biology because in biology, you have to dissect a frog, and I did not want to dissect a frog. That just was not something I was willing to do. So I ended up taking a class called horticulture, which I didn't even know what horticulture was. It was just a big word that didn't include biology. And little did I know that horticulture included things like dirt and worms and fertilizer and stuff I didn't love. But I had the most wonderful teacher. His name was David Lambert. And Mr. Lambert saw that I didn't really fit in the greenhouse either, that I really did better when I was cutting things up. And so he actually designed a floral class, because he always wanted to teach floral, but never had. So he actually designed a class around me, and I fell in love with floral. And so at age 16, it was all about a frog. That's how I came to be a florist, because I wouldn't dissect a frog. So to this day, I kind of like frogs. You can see I'm wearing my frog necklace. And you know what that brings me to is this year is leap year. How cool is that? It is a frog year. So this year is leap year. We get 29 days in February. So you get an entire extra 24 hours for you. The gift of time. So it might be 2 hours a month that you get to be gifted just for you. Or you could break it down to 4 minutes a day. That doesn't sound like very much fun. But 24 hours extra, the gift of time. It's the greatest thing ever. So I'm excited. I like leap year, and I am figuring out how I'm going to leap this year. Wonder how you're going to leap. Because it's the time that you get to make decisions. It's a fresh start. And on a leap year, it's a fresh start, plus the gift of time. So pretty cool. Anything out there that I need to be paying attention to, Carolyn?
I think you've got it all.
Yay. Oh, there's more Valentines. Well, you guys are already into the mode of the red hearts. Yes, Jan, I had shared that a bit ago, so I've shared it several times because I feel so fortunate to have found my passion at such an early age, so that still all these years later, I get to do something I love. After high school and studying there, I did go to a community college, took some floral classes there, and then ironically, I ended up taking classes here at the Floral Design Institute, which was amazing. It was before I owned it, obviously, and I started taking classes here, studied and excelled. Then I was working in a flower shop. Then I started moonlighting, teaching at night. So I was teaching at Floral Design Institute, the night class, in addition to working in the flower shop in the daytime. And then ultimately ended up buying the school, which was very exciting. So I bought it in 1988. And at the same time, Ruth Gifford, who owned Western School of Floral Design, wanted to retire. And so I ended up buying 2 schools. And you don't need 2 schools. So I ended up buying 2 schools, Western School of Floral Design and Floral Design Institute. and merged them together into just the Floral Design Institute. And that was pretty great. But then I missed retail, because if you're in retail, you really get excited, and all of a sudden, if you're not in retail, it's like, oh. And as much as we all complain, oh, we're too busy, oh, I hate my customer, oh, it's hard, you know you love it. It's so much fun. I just adore it. And what Lisa was saying that about the second flower shop, when I went back into retail, so I bought the school in '88, and I swore I'd never do retail, and then I missed it so much. And so then in 1993, I opened a flower shop again. And so I had the school and the flower shop in the same building. It was pretty cool. My flower shop was on the first floor, and it also had an espresso stand. That's where I began my addiction to coffee, addiction of choice. And so I had the espresso stand, the flower shop, and then on the fourth floor was the classroom, which was really great because I can just go the elevator up and down. But on holidays, we didn't do classes because the flower shop would be so busy. So like Valentine's Day was a huge day for us, and loved Valentine's Day because people are just, they're buying everything. And our flower shop was really tiny. We were only 550 square feet, so itty bitty, and that included the coffee. And so to do a Valentine's didn't work. So we would actually set up a second flower shop kiosk on the second floor of the building, because it was one of those where if you come in on this side, you're on the second floor, and you come on this side, you're on the first floor, so they're both fronts. So we would set up a temporary flower shop kiosk on the second floor to sell Valentine's flowers, and then the first floor selling Valentine flowers. And what she's alluding to is that people would come and buy flowers from the second floor location, which was me, but they would be telling them, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I don't want to go downstairs. They're expensive. The prices are the same. It's the same stuff. It's me. But I say, oh yeah, I'm glad we're here too. Let me have your money. It was always so much fun. It's like, you know what, if you want to believe I'm expensive, great. I don't care. Pay me over here. I'm the same price, but it doesn't matter. But you know, I knew what it took to show a profit, so I couldn't be inexpensive. We were in a high-rise office building in the city. You can't be cheap. I mean, I could have and worked my little tail end off, selling, and making no money. And you and I both know that isn't a recipe for success. You've got to charge enough to make a profit so that you can pay your people, so that you can continue to stay in business, so that you can hire someone to push your wheelchair when you're old and gray. Because you can't do this forever. There comes a point you do retire, and you have to have made a little bit of a profit. So if some people think you're expensive, God bless them. They can go shop someplace else, and then hopefully most of the people will shop with you. And that's the way it works out. So that's good. Okay, I'm going to take a peek in here and see what else I've got. What's my opinion of Teleflora FTD and 800 flowers? Let's make a note of that one here. Wire services. Then, Dennis is funny. Your PFCI, you can't run out of words. You know, that's so true. The industry is changing all the time. And so just as you think you've got it all, something's different and you have to learn new words. I think about how we're constantly updated and changing and evolving with what we teach, because we want to make sure we stay current. So, you know, we're doing more with Kinzon, we're doing more with floral netting, we are doing more talking about eco practices. We're working in more different designs, a little more marketing, so that we can keep up. In fact, next week we have a teachers meeting where all the staff will be in, and we'll be doing some training on some new things we're adding into the curriculum, making sure that we all have the right words so that the words come out of our mouths. We've got to stay that far ahead of y'all so that we have the message to share and that we can tell you all about it. So let's see. Flower school, so Susie, I see you said, Jill, that's a great question, but did I miss that question? Oh, there we go, I see it. I don't do retail, only wedding events, and the advanced seems to be more for retail. Is there another class for CFD? There is not, because the American Institute of Floral Designers is very, very specific of what they require to be taught to go into the CFD. But I'll be honest with you, Jill, I would say that the advanced class is not so much geared to a retail storefront as it is to an event or specialized studio florist. It has a lot more expanded into sympathy work that can also be done as event work because it's the same mechanics. And then wedding, which evolves to event, obviously. And then corporate, so things that you might do for an office building or an art gallery, a restaurant opening, and then a lot on new techniques, because the whole advanced course is really technique driven as opposed to arrangement driven. So I want you to learn how to use this tool, or I want you to learn how to do this. And then the design evolves to that, so that it's to teach you the technique and give you the skills so that you have a foundation to implement that skill into whatever avenue you take it. So I think it probably would meet your needs. It is not really geared to strictly flower shop. To be honest, nothing we teach anymore is focused on 100% the flower shop. It does give you the tools you need for that, but it also has expanded into more freelance, self-employment, studio, specialized design. Many of our students do nothing but event, or they do nothing but corporate subscriptions, or they do nothing but sympathy. And so we've evolved the courses so that it really can speak to all of that. So if you are looking to get your FDI, CFD, I think the advanced would be advantageous no matter which way you take your career journey and your retail side of things. So, okay. And so I got Jill there. Hi Kalpna, hi Sandy. And get back down to my questions again. Hi Marilyn, glad you're here too. And do you need to use flower food? Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Okay, and Drake, you had that question last week because you had seen so many people saying that they don't use flower food to save money. That has got to be one of the stupidest things I have ever heard. I'm sorry I said that word, stupid. Because flower food protects your investment. It allows the product to last as long as possible. And if it lasts long, you can sell it for a longer period of time. And once the client gets it, they have it for a longer period of time. And I know even here at the school where we're not selling it, we still use flower food because I want to be able to keep those flowers in my possession, reuse them, recycle them, repurpose them, show them in another live stream, make another video, same flowers. And it only works if you keep them properly cared for, which includes flower food, and also stored properly, which involves cold and high humidity. Think about flower school, you learn your refrigeration needs, and that really makes a difference. So yes to the flower food, and thank you for answering that, Roxy. I appreciate it. Hello, Ciara. Hello, Shishi. And let's see, are the flower school lives profitable? No, they're not a profit center at all. It is beneficial because it allows us to have a community of our tulips, which is the customer base. So if we can build a community there, then that equates to profitability because it gives us a resource for our people, which makes then your education and your time more valuable because you have a resource that you can go to. But the live streams and our weekly emails, the Monday videos, neither of those are built to be a profit center. They're built to be a community resource that spreads the word for our profit centers. And I thank you, Tulips, that support us. Obviously, all our classes, that's what we do. We teach, and that's how we pay our teachers, and that's how we pay our rent, and that's how we stay in business. So thank you for spreading the word on our classes. If you know anybody that's going to go to flower school, send them our direction. That's what we do, and we do it better than anyone. I can truly say that. We have such an amazing set of teachers, and then obviously you meet the community here, so you know this resource is available to you always. And then with the private Facebook group, that has proven to be a really wonderful resource as well. Then the other area that is a profit center for us is the Flower Lovers Club. And that is a private libraries that is just for you that are members of the Flower Lovers Club. And that helps support free education, and it keeps us live. So Carolyn, what you got there?
Yeah, piggybacking on the flower food question, Yawardi, if I said, forgive me if I pronounced that incorrectly.
I think it's Yawaridi. Yawaridi.
Okay.
I think.
I won't try.
One of us might be wrong.
She had a bad experience with flower food and is wondering if flower food can have an expiration date.
I'm sure it does. I don't know that, but I would bet it could get contaminated. I think if it was totally sealed and airtight, it probably wouldn't expire. But once it's opened and can get contaminated, that could be a problem. And so I think that might be more of what happened as opposed to expiration.
And then didn't you say at one time if you use too much, it can cause a problem?
Mm-hmm. If you do too much or too little, both can be detrimental. If it's too much, it's like eating too many mashed potatoes and gravy, or for my thing, strawberry shortcake. I can eat that till I'm sick. And so if you give them too much food, they get sick. And if you do too little, it has enough of the sugars that start building bacteria, but it has not enough of the antibacterial to keep that under check. So too little, too much, bad. Really measure it and know your dosage, which is why you see me use a pitcher many times when I'm pouring water in, because I know how much food goes in that pitcher. And then I pour in, it's pre-mixed, it's set. I know my recipe is correct, and I know that it will hold well then. So like these garden roses, these were from Garden Roses Direct. They came in more than a week ago, and we used them in the live stream. Then we used them to make this video, which you'll see next year. It's coming out later. And now I've got them sitting here on my table to show you to make pretty. And they're still lovely. That's because of flower food and refrigeration. So reuse, repurpose, get the value out of them. It's worth it. Yeah. Sharon from Malaysia, hello there. And 33 years, that's nothing. You can do it, come on. And Moose and Maple from New Orleans. And how often do you use flower food in the arrangements? That's from Maryland. Each and every time you put water in. So again, if you refill, like this one, I think it's 2 weeks old maybe. And after today, it's going to my house. I was leaving it here for today. And I will add more water with flower food into it so that it stays pretty at my house through the new year. I think it's going to start fading, but it's so pretty. It's like, I just love it. And so I'm having my neighbors over for a cocktail, and I thought, I got flowers I can just take home, and it'll look very festive. So every time you refresh, you add in a flower food. And prep work for Valentine's Day. Let's get going on that. Okay, so I've got that on my notes. Okay, we'll come back to that. Oh, Charlene, you're so sweet. I got my hair cut today. Do you like my haircut? Yeah, I am all fluffed and buffed, ready to go for the new year. And okay, I'm going to say. So Diane had a great question. If you're going to flower school online, where do you get your flowers? Trader Joe's, you mentioned, and is good. And depending on where you are, Whole Foods is doing foliage packages now, because foliage can be a little bit of a trauma trying to find. Sometimes you can harvest outside, but if you're in Arizona, there's no place to go outside and harvest green foliage. And they're doing packages of it. Trader Joe's usually has some of the best prices. There is a company that is a sister company to florabundance.com. You hear me talk about Florabundance frequently, but it's Fabulous Florals is their sister company that will sell to you without a business license, so that's a positive. If you have a farmer's market during the season, obviously, the farmer's markets can be a great resource. If you can get to know a florist, sometimes they will work with you because they feel like maybe they're building themselves an employee that can then come help them out at the holidays. So that can be good to build that relationship. And then as an added bonus, more wholesalers are starting to be willing to sell directly to you. So depending on what town you're in, look around, see if there is a floral wholesaler, and reach out to them. Tell them you're a student, tell them you're with the Floral Design Institute, and ask them if they will sell to you. If you would like us to reach out to them, I've been doing that to a few as people have said, well, Leanne, do you know about Arizona Flower Market? And I said, yes, I do. And I called Brent and I said, Brent, would you be willing to sell to our students? And he said, certainly, we can do that. And so many of the wholesalers are starting to sell to you because they know it's an investment in the future of the industry. So it doesn't hurt to reach out. It's scary too, because wholesalers are scary places. It's fast, it's furious, and they know everything and you know nothing, and you feel very intimidated. Oh my gosh, I hated getting started with the wholesalers. But trust me, put on your big girl panties, buck up, and you can do it. You can do it. And if you need me to say, buck up, little buckaroo, call me and I'll say it to you, because you've got that. You've got the strength. And they want your money. Hello. It's just that sometimes they get not quite so nice. So you got to kind of work with the system. So that's where you would get your flowers. And Scott has a great one. They had big boxes of designing greens in the cooler, and they build greenery bunches for sale, especially for the flower friends. Yay, Scott. You know, and a lot of stores will do that. They'll help you out. They want to be helpful. It's just sometimes they don't know how to be happy. Oh, yes, Carl, big girl panties are always an important thing, you know? I love it. Okay, so let's move forward here a little bit and look at the history of FDI again. I told you I bought it in 1988, did the flower shop in 93, and then at the same time, I was having a personal falling apart. I was just panicking because the school was doing well, the flower shop was doing well, the coffee cart was doing well, and I didn't have a clue about what I was doing. I was just, it all went well. And to give you an idea, when I bought the school, we only graduated 45 students a year. Yeah, it was a little tiny baby school. So we graduated 45 students a year. And by the time 1993 rolled around, it had grown up and it was a business, and the flower shop was busy, and I just didn't know what I could do. I was afraid that I didn't know how to run a business like that. So I actually reached out and hired a friend of mine, Mr. David Kesler, who was in the floral industry. At that time, he was president of the Canadian division of Teleflora and did a lot of floral consulting as well. And so I hired him as a consultant, and I said, can you just come look at my little baby business and tell me, do I need to hire somebody to manage it for me? Do I need to sell it because I shouldn't be doing this? Can I do this? Can you fill me in? Because I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm just not good enough. You know that self-doubt? We all get that. That self-doubt that you're an imposter and you're just not able to do it. That was me in 1993. Well, solved that problem. Fell in love with the man, never paid him, married him instead, and guess what? As a duo, we're pretty good at running a business. So you never know what solution is going to come up on your problem. So thanks, David, for being my solution. So that was 94, and then in 96, he told me, well, Leanne, if we're doing this together, it's got to be bigger. And so that's when we opened the second school in Seattle. And then we also started our online program. Yes, back then, online, which wasn't online, it was on VHS tapes, hand copied by myself, put in a box and shipped to you. It was fun days, very fun days. I'm glad we don't do that anymore. That was fun days, but we were younger then, and I don't want to do that anymore. So, okay. When you take flowers out of the fridge, should they warm up before selling them? I don't think so, Lynn. Well, I think that wouldn't matter. They're going to be going back and forth, be it into the vehicle, going to the people's homes. I don't think they need to warm up per se to be used. Grace, you mentioned the Bouquet bar. Those are pretty great. Bouquet bars are a lot of fun, and they're on trend right now. People are doing them for birthday parties, for baby showers. I think they would be great for a pre-Valentine's event, like a Galentine's, and doing a bouquet bar. You'd have to do it enough before the event to where you could still handle Valentine's. So there's that. Let's see. Dennis talks about actually talking to his wholesaler to get the rest of the flowers that he wants. You know, looking for different varieties and such. And I would encourage you to do that. As scary as it is to go to the wholesalers and to even communicate with them, they're there to help you. And they have the connections, the resources, and the knowledge, but they don't always know what it is you want or need. And so communicating with them can be a huge value. Definitely chat with them. That makes a big difference. Hi, Colette. Hello, Gayla. Haven't seen you in a while. Yay, how are you? How many students do we graduate yearly now? Oh my gosh, I don't know. At the top of my head, I couldn't tell you how many a year. Because the reason it makes it hard is the online come in and go out at different times, and so where it comes together, I don't know. In person, we probably do 50 a year, thereabouts, so not a lot. But online is so important because people are so busy, and that I don't have an actual number there. Okay, that's my goal for 2024 is to calculate that out. Leanne, how many online grads? I'm going to calculate that. Okay, online grads annually. Good question. So, oh, and Rick, I bet you do like to. Oh, you guys are naughty. Hello, Twyla. Oh, and Lisa, those videos once a month. I think we're going to start doing that again. We're trying to get it put together, but we've got to get the technology set up. It won't be a hard copy, but it will be a monthly release digitally. But I don't have all the tech put together for that, so it's probably going to be second quarter to third quarter, so it's not right away, so don't hold your breath. But those were fun things to do. I loved making them, and people loved receiving them. So I think you might see that coming back. Hello there, Amy, and Rebecca, what the classes will cover. I don't know which class you're looking for, but the foundational course covers everything you need to begin a career working with flowers. It's going to give you a little wedding, a little sympathy, a little business, a little pricing, a little care and handling, and then a little contemporary, a little classic, all your elements and principles, your color theory, all of that would be in your foundation course. Then the advanced course goes into wedding, sympathy, corporate. You know, it just takes it all a step further, and a bit of business as well. And all of our classes really do try to give you everything you need to move forward. So there's a little bit of business, a little bit of foundational, and a little bit of technique, so that it all builds on the next thing. That's a question. So like that question came in, what do you teach? Are there first timers today? If you're a first timer, let us know. And then tulips, be sure to greet them and love them and hug them and embrace them. You know, all the stuff. Because we love our first timers. You find us, you stumble upon us, you go, what in the heck is this? Today's live is different than most because it's just me chatting with you, and I've actually got my computer and looking to see what you're saying. Usually it's much more design oriented, where we're poking flowers at the same time. So you have to come back next week and see it the way it comes then. Next week we've got a focus on the Pantone Color of the Year, Peach Buzz. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's on the 2nd of January. What were our wedding flowers? Oh my gosh, that's a fun question. My wedding flowers, I had a surprise wedding. I know, kind of fun. We did pop-up before pop-up was on trend. It was a second wedding for both of us, so we wanted a wedding, we wanted it to be special, but yeah, nah. So it was my mom and dad, his mom and dad, his daughter Kristen, who was an adult by then, and then Stephen. And I can't remember, was Eric there, David? Do you remember? I can't remember. And that was kind of it. And we just were going out to dinner so that the parents could meet each other, because the parents had never met. The parents lived in Indiana, and mine are in Washington. So we just had dinner at a restaurant and had all the parents and the daughter come. And I had my bonus daughter put together a centerpiece and a little bouquet. I said, will you just put some flowers together for this order through our flower shop? I was like, would you just put this together for this order? And it was a little tiny white rose nosegay, tussy-mussy, and then just white roses down the table. I believe there was a little seeded eucalyptus maybe. It was very simple, very, very simple. And so Kristen put the order together, got it all set, boxed it up, and I said, great, thank you, I'll deliver it. And so then David and I went down to the restaurant, put the flowers out, and then we had a justice of the peace just show up to the dinner and do the wedding. And everybody was surprised. Nobody knew that that was happening. It was pretty special. It was great. That was very fun. You know, pop-up weddings are great because you don't have the stress of stuff. And my bonus daughter couldn't believe she made my wedding bouquet, but that made it extra special for me too. So that was great. So that's the rest of the story. And my favorite line flower to use. I don't have a favorite line flower. I like Liatris and snapdragons. I like larkspur. I like bells of Ireland. I don't think I have a favorite line flower, so sorry about that. Valentine's, I know we put that on the list, and I'm not going to have much time to get into that, but I will tell you, I've scheduled 3 live streams to deal with nothing but Valentine's Day preparation and such. So that is coming up, and it'll be coming up here pretty quickly. Let's see if I can even tell you what day it is, so you can put it on your calendar. The first one is going to be on January 24th. Is that a Wednesday? January 24th is going to be Valentine's preparation with me, and the week after is going to be Valentine's inspiration with Carolyn. And oh, there's 4 of them. Then we have last minute Valentine with me, and then Valentine memories with teacher Michelle, because that's Valentine's Day. So I am assuming that most of you will be so crazy busy and working and exhausted. So we're just going to be kind of a recap of Valentine's past on that day. So that's all going to start on the 24th. We'll get into Valentine's preparations, promotions, and profitability, because that's what it's all about. If you're not profitable, you fail. Not good. Okay, let's see what else. Ooh, Moose and Maple is a first timer. Yay! I'm so glad you found us. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for participating. It's always more fun when people participate. The more communication, the better. And you can always go back and pick up on the beginning where if you missed it. So that's good. Oh, Kirsty, you're in Carmel, Indiana. How funny. My in-laws were north of there, and so we fly into Indianapolis and drive up past Carmel on into, up more towards Muncie, up that direction. So, hi, I know where Carmel, Indiana is. That's funny. Yeah, how many international students? Lots and lots and lots of international students. We were trying to calculate, because we put pins on a map to show all the different countries, and we just had a student from Iceland, which we had never had an Iceland student before, and so Vega was our first. We've had Australia, we've had New Zealand, we've had China, Japan, we've had so many countries. I had a student came in person from the UAE. So yeah, we've had students from all over. Obviously Canada and Mexico, that makes it easy being all on the same continent. But we have many, many, many international students. And let's see. Oh, thank you, Gayla. That's a lovely endorsement. I appreciate that. And oh, Martha, thank you. Yes, I am very blessed to have a long and lovely time, both with my husband and the business. I'll take both of them. I'm a lucky girl. Does FDI have any merch for sale? Oh my gosh, Lori, that's so funny. I just learned the word merch. I'm an old person. I didn't know that people used merch. Actually, I learned it maybe 2 years ago, and Caledonia, I think, was the one that said, you need merch. And then we got sidetracked and never got it done. And so we are still talking about merch, and yes, we should have it, and I don't know what to even get. So, hey guys, if we had merch, what would you want to buy? What should we be looking at? Do you need a baseball hat? Do you need a keychain? Do you need a t-shirt? We've got aprons, we've got bags. Those are the 2 merch items I have, is an apron and a bag. But what would you want to see? Because that is something we've talked about, and that actually the team is kind of pushing and prodding me, saying, Leanne, you should be doing this. And Leanne keeps dragging her feet because she doesn't really know what to do. And so maybe it's time for me to put someone else in charge of that category. That's one of my goals this year. I'm going to say it out loud because that'll make it fact, and everybody's listening. But one of my goals is to empower others and let it be. Because every time I have stepped back and empowered someone on the team, they've done it better than me. And so why am I not doing more of that? Hello, if they're going to do it better than me, I need to pass the torch and give them power. Carolyn knows when I come in, Carolyn, that it's because she's better than me on so many things, and she's just, I'm like, Or she'll ask me something, I think that's a Ricky question, because I've had to come to the realization that as much as I want to, I can't know it all and do it all. And so that's my goal this year, is to empower others. So I'll have to empower somebody on the merch topic, but right now I'm going to empower each of you to let me know, what should I be doing? What merch do I need? You know, and another question, I'm going to be filming some new online classes, second quarter. What do you want me to film? What do you want to see? Yeah, I'm empowering you. You have the power. You tell me. And Rick, are you looking to have more guest appearances this year on the live? Yes! But since we don't have a live budget, that has been the big issue, because you just do it out of your free will and goodness of your heart. So yes, I would love to have guests in the studio. When we chatted about it in-house, we thought even once a month would be just grand. But with no budget, it's hard to convince somebody to give their time so freely and travel and all of that. We provide flowers, obviously, and because we've got to do that anyway, and there is that budgeted into things. But we would love to have more guests in the studio. So if you are interested in that, you can private message me, you can send me a note, whatever, email, call. I do have just a quickie form that you fill out so that we know a little more about you. And it kind of goes into the fact that, guys, there's no budget for this, so sticking it out there. But yes, we would love to have that. And Martha with her lifelong relationship with flowers, yay. Coming back up on things. Oops, sweatshirts, yeah. T-shirt and a hat, keychains, water bottles, coffee thermos, yeah, okay. You guys are good. I surround myself with people that are great at the things I'm not great about. And that is so true. There's no reason to hire people that do the same things you do. You want people that are better than you. And everybody that works for us is doing a job better than I do. Susie is the queen of social. I couldn't live without her. Caledonia keeps everything edited. When there's a crisis, she's the first one that knows what to do. If there's something glitching, she's like, oh, well, this is what you gotta do. Oh, and she's like instantly, and I'm still explaining the problem, and she's got the solution because she's so far ahead of me. She's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Ricky, oh my gosh, she's transformed the entire tech and photography world. She's made it her own. She's kept the voice of FDI. Wait till you see the collage pictorial she put together for Pantone. It is exquisite. So she brings in both the tech side and the creative side, which that's not normal. You know, that's two different sides of the brain. She's got it. And she's also brilliant. Again, she's got the solution well before I have the question out of my mouth. Or I'll say, could you fix this? And she's like, well, are you sure you want that fixed? And it's, oh, you're right. No, that's correct. Never mind. Again, ahead of me. And then Carolyn, she is a wizard at keeping things on track, making sure the procedures are done. She knows how to put things together. Oh my gosh. When we got in things, you know, like I got a chalkboard thing before the whiteboard. No, it came in pieces. I just handed it to her. I'm like, you're going to have to do this. Anything that needs to be put together, she's the first one, because she can MacGyver the world. She's like, oh yeah, I got that. I know how to do that. Okay. And then Michelle, she keeps us all organized. She documents everything and keeps it in a Bible, and if I need to know what happened, da-da-da-da-da-da, right there. I mean, she's got it all, and as lead instructor, that's vitally important because she's got to keep us all on track and organized so that it all goes together. Then David, I call him Vision. He is the king of looking at the analytics and knowing this is where you're going and this is what you got to do. And if you don't do this, you're going to have a problem. And so I call myself day-to-day. I'm over here playing with flowers and taking care of things on a daily basis. David's out here with the vision, and so I just keep heading that direction. If I take my day-to-day and just keep heading to vision, and then he moves my vision, like, oh, I just got here, and then he moves it again. I'm like, dang. But yeah, we are really, really blessed. Teacher Jerry brings that real world wedding experience directly in. She's going to be doing a wedding live stream coming up here shortly. And then she's also working on a live stream all about her toolbox and what you should have in your toolbox. Won't that be great? Oh my gosh, because she does this all year long in the wedding and event world. Plus she's going into the dailies, and so little bits of everything. I think, what makes me amazed with her is the balance between work and life. She's a mom, and she keeps it together. I don't know how she does it. I'll be honest. I don't know how she does it. She is just amazing. Then Teacher Anna, newest graduate of the program, does her own wedding thing. Her key is she's so fresh and young and has never been told, oh, you can't do that. So she goes and does it. And she figures it out. She's great at installations. That's one of her claims to fame, is doing big things that you would think, how in the world would you ever do the mechanics for that? My favorite picture of her is out in a field bending rebar to do something hanging on the ceiling. I'm like, how many people go around bending rebar? Anna does. And she brings that and shares it in the classroom. I'm excited to have her back this winter in between weddings. She's never with us in the summertime because that's her wedding season. Neither is Jerry. She's not here in the summertime. So we have fabulous people. We're surrounded with so much. And I just have to empower and say, it's yours. And back up, because they do it better than me. Definitely, definitely. Let's see. I think I got those. Oops, make sure I'm catching up with y'all again. I want teacher to organize my life. I wish I could have teacher Michelle organize my life. Oh my gosh. Oh, Hilda, thank you. That's so kind. Yes. And oh, kid clothes, like growing a tulip. Get it? Oh, I like that, Sheila. That's pretty cute. Oh, that's great. And then, what is rebar? Rebar is heavy metal that's thick, like, I don't know, an inch diameter, that they use inside of concrete and stuff, but it comes in huge, huge rolls, and so that she cut it to, I don't know what she needed, 20 feet, and then she was winding it around hard, round surfaces to get the curvature, serpentine that she needed. I mean, really? Oh my gosh, that is just more than I can even imagine. So, before I let you go, because it is almost that time, I told you that this year is leap year. Okay, got my frog on. I'm going to leap forward, and I invite you to join me in leaping. Where are you going to leap? You got to figure that out. I'm still working on mine, but I am going to leap forward, and I have an extra 24 hours. And I haven't decided what I'm doing with that magical 24 hours, but I'm going to do something special because we often don't get the gift of time. And when you do get it, take advantage and use it to the very best for yourself. But also, this year is the year of the dragon. So Chinese New Year is coming up, and it's the year of the dragon. And that's a very good year. It's wealth, prosperity, and opportunity, luck. It's a year for growth and renewal with extra 24 hours. How cool is that? So think about that. It's the year of the dragon. That's good. It's leap year. That's good. Let's make this year our year and make it the best year ever. Next week we'll be back. We'll be flowering. Promise. It'll be grand. And I toast you for being here with me today. I really appreciate you spending an hour with me. I had fun. It was enjoyable to have something sparkly and fun instead of coffee. We'll be back to coffee next week. But for now, I wish you all a fabulous year. I wish you all a leap forward. And I wish you all a successful, wonderful life. Now get out there and do something you love. Bye for now.